Hi everyone, welcome back to Bridging the Pond.
We're so excited to finally launch our channel with our favorite topic, luxury travel on a budget.
And boy, do we have a doozy for you to start with.
Oh, we do. We just got back from the Maldives. And in this video, we'll be sharing ratings on each aspect of the trip from our group of 13 people, aged 29 to 65, which I think is really going to make it the most comprehensive review of Cocoon Maldives available.
Absolutely it will. And we're going to be sharing the most important do's and don'ts, what to bring and what not to bring to this amazing resort.
And then finally, stay tuned to the end to learn how we got this fabulous, once-in-a-lifetime experience for about the same price as a nice Caribbean cruise.
Yeah, that sounds crazy and too good to be true, but I promise you it's not. So stay tuned to the end, you won't regret it.
Before we get started, let's introduce the team. Here are the faces you'll be seeing, and of course the people who are contributing to the 5-star ratings at the end.
Yeah, so let's start off with our newlyweds. We've got Chase and Alex.
And Chase's dad, Craig, and his lovely wife, Allison.
And then we've got some other Brits. Hey, from my side of the pond, we've got Wendy and Jeff, albeit they're from Middlesbrough. We won't hold it against them.
Hopping back to my side of the pond, we have Tim and Laura.
And then bringing up the rear, we've got Erica, Nancy, and Victoria.
Our girl group.
They are our girl group.
So now let's get started with our trip number 1.
Before we do though, you know the drill. We need you to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you get notified whenever we release a new video.
We'll be sharing more details on Cocoon Maldives and generally saving money on luxury travel. And we've actually got quite a few tips and tricks coming up, as well as some reviews and comparisons of different options out there. So hope that you do subscribe and look forward to seeing you soon.
So without any further ado, let's get started. So we booked our dream getaway to Cocoon Maldives, but how did we get from Mali International Airport to our island sanctuary? In this case, the journey really is as good as a destination. At least it is when
you travel by seaplane. This is arguably the most scenic and thrilling way to arrive at a Maldivian resort and is truly part of why a trip to the Maldives is worth it. The experience of soaring above crystal clear turquoise waters and taking in the breathtaking aerial views of islands scattered across the Indian Ocean, it really cannot be beat.
Most Cocoon Maldives transfers are arranged by the resort itself, and ours was included in the package that we booked. We were greeted upon arrival at Mali International Airport and escorted to the dedicated Seaplane terminal, where we were checked in, our baggage was weighed, and we were given cold bottles of water in a comfortable waiting room. Everything was very smoothly managed, and we didn't have to worry about where to go or when.
The seaplanes, while a bit cramped and hot, do offer stunning views and an exciting different flight experience. Definitely don't forget to bring your camera because this is absolutely a photo opportunity you won't want to miss. Our seaplane journey was only about 35 minutes, but we enjoyed the amazing views of the endless expanse of the Maldives, including beautifully laid out resorts and uninhabited islands fringed with white sand, as well as reefs peeking through the clear water. Really can't describe how amazing it was.
And as the seaplane descended, we got our first glimpse of the Cocoon Maldives.
Upon landing, we were met by the friendly staff of Cocoon Maldives, greeting us with genuine Maldivian hospitality, and then we were whisked away to the reception center, leaving our luggage on the seaplane. The open-air lobby offers beautiful views of the lagoon and swaying palm trees. We were invited to take a seat and enjoy a beverage while the check-in process began. You can relax and enjoy the gorgeous scenery, or you can play wrecking ball on the swings as Del and Chase chose to do.
The check-in process took a while for our group because it was 5 rooms. But once we're all signed in and we were loaded onto golf carts for an island tour on our way to our own Overwater bungalows, where we found our luggage was already waiting for us.
So we finally made it to our room at Cocoon Maldives, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. Stepping off the golf cart and onto the private deck of our Overwater bungalow, the first thing that struck me was the breathtaking view.
Stepping inside the bungalow, we were greeted by a spacious and beautifully designed living area. Natural materials like wood, woven textures created a warm, inviting atmosphere, perfectly complementing the stunning ocean views. The king-size bed was positioned to maximise the view, as were the 2 comfortable sofas.
The bathroom was actually really impressive as well. There was a double vanity, but the most impressive part was the large shower with full ocean views. It was fully stocked with shampoo, conditioner, lotion, body wash, shower cap, and hair dryer, although the hair dryer is actually under the coffee maker in the living room, just in case you're having a hard time finding it like one of our friends.
But the true star of the show was definitely the private deck. We spent countless hours lounging in the comfortable chairs, soaking up the sun and enjoying the gentle rhythm of the waves lapping against the stilts. It was a perfect spot for a relaxing afternoon reading session with the soundtrack of the ocean and also falling asleep under the stars. And it would have been a great spot for a romantic sunset cocktail if we were allowed one. More on this later when we do the reviews, the pros and the cons of the resort.
So we chose the standard Overwater bungalow, but there's also an option for a larger sunset view bungalow with a private pool. One of the couples in our travel group, our newlyweds, did upgrade to this option. So we'll be able to provide some comparisons and a recommendation between the two in our overall review. Regardless of the specific bungalow though, you can be sure of stunning ocean views and fabulous service in your room. Our room attendant serviced our room twice a day and really kept it spotless.
Overall, our Overwater bungalow at Cocoon Maldives was an absolute dream come true and completely worth the upgrade from a basic room. Cocoon Maldives isn't just about your stunning Overwater bungalow. The island itself is a paradise waiting to be explored. So put on your flip-flops, grab your swimsuit and get ready to explore.
The island is small enough to explore on foot. Del walked all the way around it in about 20 minutes, but then he's a really fast walker. His walking pace is my jogging pace. Either way, you can walk through the whole island comfortably, meandering along palm-lined paths and discovering secluded hammocks strung between palm trees or beachside swings, absolutely made for Instagram. There's lots of things to see and explore. Absolutely.
The island boasts more than just the main beach area. If you venture to the other side of the island, you'll discover secluded stretches of pristine sand, really soft, but not as soft as our home in Reddington Beach, and we'll cover that in a later video. The beaches are perfect for a romantic stroll or a peaceful afternoon, collecting seashells and watching the many hermit crabs. It would have been fantastic to have a picnic or a cocktail on the beach, if that were allowed. Again, more of that to come later on. We did enjoy dipping into the water though for a refreshing swim and an impromptu snorkeling session.
Of course, the main attraction is not on the island, but under the water. We have never seen more clear water or more interesting wildlife in our adventures together. Our favorites were the manta rays and adorable little reef sharks, who I have to admit I completely harassed chasing around. They were so cute. But the diverse and colorful fish were also amazing to watch, and Del even got to swim with a sea turtle. We especially enjoyed smuggling bread out of the buffet and feeding the fish by the Manta restaurant. Oddly enough, the fish did not seem interested in bread anywhere else on the island. I guess the resort trained them well on the no food outside of the restaurant rule.
Indeed. And for those seeking relaxation, the resort's pool is a great spot to unwind with a good book and a refreshing cocktail. It's well laid out with gorgeous views of the ocean and a bar service where the bartenders actually take the time to get to know you and know your preferences. We spent a lot of time there.
We did. Cocoon Maldives promises a luxurious escape, and that extends to the food and beverage scene. Exquisite presentations, fresh ingredients, and a beautiful setting. It all really sounds perfect on paper. But how did it measure up in reality? Let's dive into that one.
Yeah. The main buffet is the only included restaurant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. With that said, it did offer a variety of options for each meal with different dinner themes each night, ranging from simple to more exotic.
It was in the execution that our dining experience fell short. We found the food quality to be lacking. Many dishes were served cold or were flavorless or poorly flavored, such as really strong vinegar flavor to the poached eggs. With that said, some items were actually really outstanding. We especially enjoyed the Maldivian night, the fresh-made tandoori naan on Indian night, and the daily salad bar and grill options were great as well. Many of the best items, though, ran out in the middle of the dinner service and were never replenished, even though there was over an hour of dinner service still remaining.
Yeah, that was shocking. Overall, we just felt that the whole experience was too inconsistent in quality to fully enjoy. With that said, the staff at the buffet were very, very good, friendly and attentive to our preferences, although some members of our party felt that they were treated rudely when they accidentally broke an unclear and inconsistent rules, such as serving themselves water that was on the buffet table or wearing a cover-up with similar sheerness to other people in the restaurant.
Another strange rule was the prohibition on taking food to eat in your room. This was especially frustrating on our trip, as we had several members of our group who became ill on the trip, and we couldn't take food to them without getting in trouble.
Additionally, the buffet and dining area were open air but blocked in by trees, which actually blocked any breeze, and it was stiflingly hot, sweaty during all of the dining experiences for every single meal. In fact, half of our group paid $85 on the last night just to eat a meal on the beachfront, to escape the sweaty heat for just one night, and it really felt a bit like extortion.
Really did. On our one night of escape from the dinner heat was in the main a la carte restaurant, Manta, which is actually a lovely overwater outdoor dining setting. We had a $30 per person credit in Manta included in our package, and that was actually enough to cover the cost of one of the lower cost entrees for the night we dined there.
Yeah, we wanted to splurge though and get an appetizer, but they did not have the one we wanted available on that day. But in the end, with the delicious bread they served up, I'm glad they didn't have it available, because we ended up eating half a loaf of this bread.
And that was a full-size loaf.
And it was probably the best thing that I ate while I was on the resort there.
The rest of the food was, as at the buffet, inconsistent, ranging from excellent to bland to actually completely inedible. And in fact, one of the appetizers that we found inedible, one of our group felt possibly food poisoning from. The services elsewhere in the resort was excellent, and the setting was perfect. It was beautiful, breezy, and cool, and we even saw turtles that the server pointed out so we wouldn't miss them, and a huge shark while we were dining, and I think that might have been thanks to Dell throwing shrimp tails into the water.
The prices are, however, shocking. Given that we've already paid for an all-inclusive experience, we're going to provide you with a copy of the menu so you can see these prices yourself if you're interested, but not a good thing.
We were shocked to learn that we could only order 2 drinks from our all-inclusive package while dining as well, which really leads into our biggest disappointment with Cocoon Maldives.
Yeah, the drinks.
Mm-hmm.
We quickly learned that all-inclusive was not actually all-inclusive, with the majority of standard resort drinks excluded, including all frozen drinks. Often, bizarrely, as all the ingredients were included.
For example, a mojito was not included and would have been $12 to order. However, you could order a non-alcoholic mint and lime iced tea and a shot of rum and mix it yourself as part of the package. We bumped into this with multiple types of drinks.
Additionally, the alcohol in the minibars was also excluded, which is very, very different from all other all-inclusive resorts we've been to in the past. In the buffet, only beer and wine was served.
Neither of these things would have been an issue for us, as we're very happy to carry our own drinks to our rooms or to dinner, but we were informed that all drinks must be consumed where they were served. So we were basically not allowed to have a drink on our balcony if we weren't willing to pay $8 for domestic beer from the mini fridge, or a cocktail with dinner at all.
Yeah. Overall, the food and beverage experience at Cocoon Maldives is a mixed bag, so be prepared to adjust your expectations if you're used to all other inclusive resorts.
Yeah, and I think that's really the difference. A lot of us had experienced other all-inclusives, and it was really in comparison to other all-inclusives that we found it really falling short.
Okay, so we've talked about the island, we've talked about the food, we've talked about the drinks, but what else is there to do on the Cocoon Maldives? Like with the food and beverages, we were surprised by what was and what actually wasn't included in our all-inclusive experience.
On the positive side, kayaks and paddleboards are included in 30-minute increments per day. While we didn't do this ourselves, some of our group did try them, finding paddleboards to be a lot harder than they look. We were disappointed to learn that the Hobie Cats, our favorite non-motorized water sport, were not included and were actually very expensive, over $70 for 30 minutes. We were surprised by this because every other all-inclusive resort we've been to, they were included as a non-motorized water option. Other water sports were available, jet skis and things like that, and those prices were comparable, I think, to other resorts we've experienced.
Yeah, I just found the prices so high on every single aspect of the additional add-ons that you could do at Cocoon, and I think this is something that they need to look at.
The boys in our group decided to be hunters for a night and booked a sunset fishing excursion.
Peace. Go get some fish. We're going fishing in the Maldives. Hopefully we'll get...
They were surprised to find that it was actually line fishing and there were no poles, but they did still enjoy the evening and each caught one fish.
Yeah, our fishes were big. Mine was the biggest, but you should have seen the one that got away.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We have pictures, you know. The resort prepared their fish for us with a beautiful presentation for lunch the next day, and they were absolutely delicious. All 2 bites that we each got to have. The most expensive fish dinner at $70 per person for a couple of bites each, but it was 100% worth it for the experience.
We were pleasantly surprised to learn, though, that a daily boat trip to the House Reef for guided snorkeling is actually included! Yay, we found something. This is on a first-come, first-served basis, though, and you must sign up for this starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's not going to be available for your first 2 days on resort.
Because you do have to sign up the day before you want to go on the excursion. Correct. The guides were fantastic and helped with everything from mask and snorkel and fin fitting, all provided along with life jackets. If you wanted a life jacket, you could use one, but they didn't require it. So if you're a more experienced snorkeler and wanted to do some free diving, you could do that as well. The boat ride was lovely. The snorkeling was really crowded, but was still really fun. The guides, I thought, were fantastic swimmers, and I personally really enjoyed just watching them glide through the water. Even our most nervous friends, myself included, who hadn't swam in deep water for many years, felt really safe and fully enjoyed the snorkeling experience. It was an hour-long excursion, and we absolutely enjoyed every minute of it.
It was. So we were also surprised one afternoon when we were invited to join the resort team with seeding of a coral reef. It was a very educational and fun experience, and they even told us where we could go the next day to snorkel and see the reef that we helped to plant.
Not everything is in the water, though. Every evening there was either live music or a DJ at the pool/beach bar. The quality was generally really good, although it didn't really start until late at night. By far, everyone's favorite night was the Maldivian night. The resort staff actually hosted and performed for this night instead of professional performers, and that was a touch that really made it feel so much more genuine and engaging. Everyone was dancing, and 2 of our group were even the dance competition winners. Fun was absolutely had by all.
Yeah, absolutely. However, it's important to acknowledge that the entertainment options at Cocoon are somewhat limited compared to other larger resorts. The schedule may not be packed with activities every day, and those seeking a more constant stream of organised entertainment might find themselves wanting more.
But the real beauty of Cocoon Maldives is in its focus on creating your own adventure. While organized activities might be available, I think the real entertainment lies in exploring the island, indulging in the water sports like snorkeling, kayaking, and paddleboarding, or really just relaxing on the beach or your private deck over the water with a really good book, which I spent a lot of time doing. All things considered, how does it all rate? We've compiled average guest ratings across various categories to help you decide if Cocoon Maldives is right for you. These ratings were provided by the 13 people we traveled with, ranging in age from 29 all the way up to 65.
So our 5-star rating is very, very simple. 1 is terrible, 2 is below expectations, 3 is a whole lot of fine, 4 is very good, and 5 is phenomenal.
Phenomena. Phenomena.
We did ask each individual to share why they chose each rating, and everybody actually gave a lot of detail in their response. So if you'd like to see that detailed breakdown and explanation of each person's experience by topic area, we will link to that video and you can subscribe to be notified when it's posted. In the meantime, though, here are the summary average ratings by topic across our group of 13.
So starting off with the Seaplane transfer, that got 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Welcome arrival and check-in got 4.4 stars.
The rooms got 3.3 stars.
Service, though, was 4 stars.
The dining experience, 3 stars.
Excursions were 4.
Now the all-inclusive options, 2.7 stars out of 5.
Entertainment got 3.8 stars.
But we asked everybody in the group, including myself, at the end of this, was it worth it? Now, a resounding 12 out of the 13 people that attended this trip with us all said, yes, it was worth it.
Now, we did also promise packing do's and don'ts, as well as general tips based on our experiences. So let's get into those.
Okay, first the do's.
First, the don'ts.
First the don'ts.
Don't bring shoes. There is absolutely nowhere on the island that does not require walking through sand. I only use my beach flip-flops and my dressy flip-flops the entire time.
Don't bring hair supplies. Not that I need them. It's hot, it's humid, and everything is outdoors and ocean orientated. The girls mainly wore their hair up the whole time and kept it natural.
Don't bring too many clothes. You won't use them. All day, everyone just wore swimsuits and cover-ups. And then the evening, dinner is very casual, and as well as the evening entertainment. So maybe a sundress or some shorts is fine.
Yeah, and don't bring shampoo, conditioner, or body lotion. All of this is provided for you.
Now, some tips. The Seaplane is restricted weights. 20 kilograms for the main bag, 5 kilograms for a personal item. Very strict about that because of the nature of the Seaplane needing to be strict about weights. Leave the extras at home. We'll save you a fortune in extra charges.
Now let's move on to the do's. So do bring a snorkel and mask with you. Now they are available for free rent on resort. However, they're on a first come first served basis, and a bunch of the people in our group were not able to get rentals until their last day because they were used by other people.
And that was with the resort being at very low capacity at the time we visited. So I can't imagine how difficult it would be to get a snorkel and mask when it's full capacity.
Absolutely.
Now, do bring lots of sunscreen. So there is a resort shop on property, but everything is very expensive. One member of our party needed to buy sunscreen. It was $36 for a small watery bottle of sunscreen, and you will need it. It is intense sun all day, all the time. So definitely bring lots of sunscreen.
Yeah, also bring dollars for tipping. Don't go ahead and tip on your credit card at all. We talked to the staff members there and they said they only get a small percentage of any tips that get put on a card, whereas if you pay in cash, they get to keep them all. So US dollars is their primary source of money that they like, but they will take UK pounds and they will also take euros. So do take cash with you.
Also bring medication. Any medication you might end up wanting to use during your trip, whether that's for an upset stomach, a head cold, or some of our friends experience headache medication. Again, they do have a resort shop, but the prices are exorbitant. Bring it in the original packaging. The Maldives immigration can be a little bit strict about that, so that it's clear what it is you're bringing in, and you should be fine and save money and be well prepared.
Absolutely. So let's move on now to some general tips. On the Seaplane, you want to sit on the left-hand side on the way from Mali to the Cocoon Resort, and then on the right-hand side, which is a double seats, on the way back. This way you're going to get the best view of the islands from the sky.
And we ended up doing it the opposite. It was still a gorgeous view, but 20/20 hindsight, that's our recommendation.
Absolutely.
So for the rooms, we highly recommend the Overwater bungalows. It is 100% worth it. We walked by the standard rooms and the beach bungalows, and we're really glad that we had the Overwater bungalow in comparison. However, do not pay the extra premium for the bungalow with the private pool, as that really wasn't worth it at all.
Another thing that wasn't worth it is the Cocoon Maldives offer an extended or
Premium?
A premium all-inclusive option. It works out about $80 per day per person, but based on everything we've seen there, it's just not worth it, so save your money.
Cocoon Maldives receives high marks for its stunning location and exceptional service. The luxurious Overwater bungalows boast stunning views and private decks, perfect for relaxation. However, you might be wondering why the rooms only got a 3.3 stars. And that's because many people in our group did actually have serious issues with their room experiences. You can click on the link to the detailed reviews for more on that. As we've noted as well, the all-inclusive food and beverage experience does leave a lot to be desired too.
Yeah, and of course, these are only our opinions. You may have a totally different opinion, and we'd love to hear about them. So in the comments below, please let us know if you visited the Cocoon Maldives. Let us know how you found it. Let us know your experiences, or indeed if you visited any of the other thousands of Maldivian islands that are out there. Let us know how you found them and which one you preferred.
With all that said, all but one of our group gave a resounding yes to the question, was it worth it? And that was because of the amazing price that we paid per couple.
And here's the bit you've all been waiting for. How much did it cost? Drum roll. So this actually only ended up costing us as a couple £4,800. Now this included Emirates flights from London Heathrow, it included the Seaplane transfer, and then it included the Overwater bungalow here on Cocoon in the all-inclusive resort.
The upgrade to the Sunset Pool room added about 1,000 UK pounds, which is what led our one group member to say it wasn't worth it. And again, based on their experience, we would recommend staying in a standard Overwater bungalow.
Absolutely. So you might be wondering why our entirely US-based travel group ended up booking a package from London instead of the USA. Well, that's what we're going to share in another video on how Bridging the Pond saves dollars. So until next time,
keep on traveling.
Bye.